Welcome to the Global Rising Summit. Stand up, speak out, be seen. I am Janine Savient and my co-host is Heather Ellis Drake, and with us today we have Keith Mason. Welcome to you, Keith.
Hi Janine. Hi Heather. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
It's our pleasure, Keith. Welcome back. We had such a lovely time with you last time. We were so pleased when you wanted to come back and join us again. So I'll just read out Keith's bio for the viewers. Keith's purpose is to awaken the deep awareness and wisdom of the heart that lies within us all, bringing together energy, consciousness, and quantum physics. Keith believes that our individual and collective way forward is through a greater engagement with the innate wisdom of the heart and our becoming comfortable with the metaphysical and spiritual worlds of energy. His belief in heart-based communication, personal growth, and expanded consciousness as tools to support ongoing personal and societal change is infectious. Keith's background is that he brings a wonderful balance between the practicalities of everyday life and the emotional and energetic aspects that are at the heart of everyone and everything. Over the past 22 years, Keith has been exploring his internal and emotional relationship and how this influences his perceptions and interactions with the wider world. He brings the resultant wisdom and clarity to his presentations, workshops, and private clients. His interaction and sometimes provocative style brings clarity and simple truths to many of today's challenges. His simple and everyday language supports easy integration, and his real-life and relevant examples make the most complex issues appear both practical and achievable. Keith has led workshops through the USA, Canada, Australia, and the UK, and New Zealand, of course, and has helped thousands find the answer to their questions and transform their approach to and satisfaction of life through the expansion and wisdom of their heart. His strong entrepreneurial drive created several businesses in the manufacturing and service industries, allowing him to retire from active business at 40 and focus on his passion of helping people open their heart and unlock their innate potential. Keith brings his creative outlook, enthusiastic energy, and boundless belief in everyone's potential to every one of his private sessions and presentations. He is now also offering his insights and practical tools through online webinars and social media. He is available as a keynote speaker on a variety of topics around the energy, consciousness, and heart-based connection areas for both personal and business growth. He is also available for associated breakout and workshop facilitation as required. So thank you very much, Keith. I noticed that this bio is updated from the last one, so showing the viewers just where you were to where you are now. So
yeah, just a little change.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So one of the parts of your bio, you said your purpose is to awaken the deep awareness and wisdom of the heart. How do you go about this, and what change can a person expect from this awakening?
Well, hey, great question, Janine. But before we go, can I get some makeup to get rid of my shiny bald spot? You know, I'm worried that the people might think I'm a shiny top, you know.
One of the shining ones. You're one of the shining ones.
Hey, look at my aura. Look at my aura.
Yes,
okay.
very beautiful.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. Look, let's kind of address that topic. You know, it's what is the innate wisdom of the heart? Well, it's an incredibly complex sort of topic, but it's in the language of energetics, in the language of chakras, in the language of the matrix on how your physical body is held in existence. It's held in existence basically by, shall we say, 5 beings, and we call them 7 beings, sorry. We call them chakras just for fun. And the one they all pivot around is the heart chakra. which is number 4. And so inside this heart chakra, it is the most sensitive chakra you have to the widest range of frequencies. So it's the most delicate, the most subtle energy center you have to the widest range of frequencies. So it basically carries the language of the universe. Okay? In our human world, Janine, we call it, love. It's a kind of the simple one. Or then we get a hurt heart, but basically we call it love. And we all know that what we do for love and what we do that makes our heart sing is not necessarily logical, practical, or in some case very intelligent. But it's a feeling, it's an experience. So the heart is about experiencing love, the absence of love, the versions of love, the frequencies of love. It's all about an experience. The mind is all about outcome and knowledge and all those other things. So the heart has this wisdom to feel into situations, to feel into the world around us. And it has this other really beautiful tool, beautiful ability, is when our heart is free to vibrate, free to resonate, we can meet another person and empath with them. Our heart can reach and vibrate at the same frequency that they have. And what many people in this world call when that happens, they call that's a soulmate, or we just felt connected, or they're a lovely person. But it's that wisdom of the heart that's talking to the other person beyond knowledge. The experience of communicating, not the application of a style of communicating.
Yes. Wow, that's a beautiful way of putting it, Keith. It's very clear, very simple way of putting it. What I was with was you saying that there's a wider range of vibration from the heart than any other chakra. So in a person awakening, they awaken to far more of the reality around them. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. I'll possibly touch on it a bit further, but we have this little part in our brain. I know we're talking about the heart. Now I'm going to go over to the brain. But we have this little part in the brain which is called the RAS. Now I'm playful, as you probably gathered, so I go at RAS. Medically, it's called RAS. And it's called the reticulating activating system. All right, now it's a big word, but just call it RAS. It's kind of simple. Now, what the RAS does is the RAS determines what senses and information and perceptions that all your beingness receives. It dictates which bits come to your conscious mind.
Wow. I've never heard of the RAS before.
It's sitting right down in the teeth, right down by the pineal gland, right down in the back of the reptilian brain. But it's well recognized medically. They call it a RAS. And I'll give you the most simpler version of the RAS. The RAS is when you want to buy a certain type of car, they're all over the place, aren't they? There's one, I want one like that, there's that. But when you go to buy it, the minute you go to buy it, you can't find one.
Correct.
Because when you're looking at them, you're open. It doesn't matter. You're filled full of joy and happiness and excitement. The minute you go to buy one, you're now serious, complicated. You tighten down your narrowness and you're starting to judge and look for a specific. You can't find one. Wow. Because it's how your RAS is working. Then finally you give up. You can't find one. Give it up. You go lighthearted. Suddenly one pops up. You go, my God, I've got to buy it because it's the only one I can find. You buy it. You never see the dents. You never see the little bit of rust. You never see any of the defects, do you? Because you're in love with it. Yeah? And then you take it home and you wash it the first time. You go, oh, I didn't see that. And you clean the dash and you go, oh, I didn't notice that. And so now that your RAS has actually focused on the car you've brought, it will now show you everything. You'll now see everything because it now knows exactly what to allow into your awareness. Got it? Not all the cars, just this one. Just this one. Now, you've got your car, you're proud, you drive around, and guess what happens? They're fucking everywhere. Sorry, they're everywhere. You can't stop it. They're everywhere. And they're at better prices and better colors, and they're everything. Now, how the hell do they suddenly appear? Did God suddenly give you 7 million extra Honda Accords or something on the planet? No. Your RAS now knows all about that model car. It knows it so well. It knows it's coming before you can see it. It feels the energetic symbol that car resonates through their air. The vibration of its engine and its impact in reality as it moves through the universal field. And it goes, there's a Honda, and you go, wow, look at that. You're looking in that direction, but there you know it's there. Because your RAS is operating at a metaphysical level of awareness.
Wow.
And it's dictating to you that you've now said, hey, I've spent some hard-earned coin to buy this car. So your RAS goes, well, it must be really important to you. So here's all the cars that look like that.
Wow. So if we have our RAS fully consciously operating along with our heart, what sort of a being do we become?
Well, then it gets kind of exciting. It gets really kind of exciting, because that's actually when we start to be real about things like the law of attraction and all of these other things that we might talk more about. But what that is that's when reality starts to come in alignment, because we've got our RAS in alignment.
Yes.
With our heart. Now, often our RAS isn't in alignment with our heart. Let me show it to you. A wounded heart, a person who has been abused, physically, sexually, raped, walking down the road, their RAS is tuned to any threat.
Yes.
They will sniff out any person within 300 meters who has any aggression in their field. They'll feel it before they see the person. Another person who has not been wounded in that way will not even know that person's there. And even if that person walks past them, they won't even notice them, because their RAS is not tuned in. So this is what many people everyone uses this language without really knowing the language. That's when you call that tuning in.
Yes.
The thing I teach people is to tune in their RAS so that they have a wider perception of the things they want to see, their heart wants to see.
Yes.
And so, but we have to train the RAS, and it's trained by the similar behaviors as conditioning, but we can do it metaphysically as well. But this is what our RAS is, and that's operating in the background. And this is why I can look at someone's field and know everything about them. A bank manager can look at a bank statement, like a balance sheet, and know everything about the business. How do they do that? Because they actually look at the balance sheet and kind of energetically morph out into the great oneness. This is where we're all one. Moves out to the great oneness and grabs hold of that business and sucks all the information in. They believe they're reading the documents. They're not. They're reading the energetic substance of the business. The same way as when I meet a person, I read their energetic substance. If I decided to focus on, which I did one time, I decided to focus on the matrix, and I heard so much about it. I didn't know anything about it. So I went along to JZ Knight. You might have heard from, The Secret. I went along to her retreat center, and I decided to be a student of hers for a little bit of time. And it was about 3 days. So I had some wonderful experiences there. And one of the ones was I wanted to see the matrix that holds the sky in existence. Some people want to watch a movie. I wanted to see the matrix that holds the sky.
Of course.
Of course, it's what your raz is tuned to, So I kind of was talking to some of the people, and they said, we have a small group that does that on the last day in the morning. You've got to get up at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. So I said, okay, can I go? And they said, it's normally for advanced students, but somehow we got there. And so we're sitting there at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm in group energy here. See, I've got a whole lot of people who want the same thing. So we've got a pretty powerful intention here, haven't we? All right. And some of these people are pretty clear. Their raz is pretty tuned. So I'm looking up at I'm looking up at the sky, and I'm going, well, where's the bloody grid? I'm thinking this, I don't know what I was thinking. They said, okay, well, what we want you to do is we want to soften your focus. And I'm going, well, how do you do that? So they showed me that. Then we want you to look past what you see. And how the hell do you do that? But what they're really talking about, Janine, is they were talking about shifting my conscious state. That's what they were talking about. And they were giving me exercises to shift my vibrational, to step beyond what my eyes were seeing into more information that my eyes could see when you change the raz.
Yes.
Got it?
Yes.
And slowly in front of me, I'm staring at the sky, and I think, no. I said no because I started to see it, and I blinked, and then I couldn't see it again. It took me about 20 minutes to get it back because it terrified me so much. What was up there in the sky was this very, very pale grid line, like a three-dimensional grid line that seemed to hold the blueness, and I'm thinking, no, but yes, yes, yes.
So how did you manage to step beyond your conscious state to do that, Keith? It's probably a long explanation, but just...
It takes a little bit longer than we've got here, but Janine, I for whatever course, obviously my soul path, my soul journey, I got given the opportunity. I had a huge awakening. It'll be the basis of a book or a story or an interview one day. But in the process of that, I became aware of a voice in my head. It first started with a being in my body. Someone else took over my body. Now, that really screwed my reality.
Yes.
I am I. No, I'm just a vehicle, and I can get oozed out and someone oozed in. And suddenly I understood, without anyone telling me anything, I understood how trance channels operated. I understood how people who bring through, JZ Knight with Ramtha, Esther Hicks, Tabash here. I suddenly understood how it happened because it happened to me. So no one taught me anything, but I learned by experience.
Yes.
And so that's really been my journey. My whole journey is not to be theory. It's been experience because it's through the heart. The heart experiences movement of energy. The mind applies information and tries to apply a concept. The heart lives the experience. Plus, it learns by experience. It learns by its own truth. I felt that. I was there. It's mine. Someone's not telling me that I can reject.
Mm.
Somebody got in my body, and I knew because I wasn't in it, and I knew because I came back in it, and I could feel myself coming back in it, and it suddenly made a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
So in the course of all that, I got the opportunity in a meditation in my house in Wellington. They said, well, we want you to do some service work. And I went, oh, good. We all want to be special. So, you know, I'm going to save the world, do something. Yeah, you know, I'm going to be rich and famous and all those things. Woohoo! And they said, well, we want to introduce you to Bob. How many people want to have a spirit guide called Bob? Fuck. God, say, hi, I'm channeling Bob. It doesn't kind of resonate with my perception of spirit. I wanted Ramadam Duda, or I want, you know, Ramtha, or I want Archangel Michael, or I want, you know, hey, I want somebody who's world famous already so that I could be world famous. I didn't want to be Bob. Crikey. You know, welcome to a big slap of my ego. But anyway, there you go. So I've got Bob. And so Bob says, well, I'll work with you for a while. We want you to be of service. And we want you to teach consciousness and heart shit to humanity. And, you know, Bob was pretty practical. And I thought, this is cool. And as he was talking, he was showing me who I had been. And I thought, oh. So he said, you've got two choices. You've always got two choices. He said, you could have 3 if you like, or you can have a dozen, but we'll try and make it simple. You got 2. I go, okay, what's the 2? You could be a conscious channel, or you could be an unconscious channel. And I went, oh. And I got shown how often I'd been an unconscious channel. The Ramthas, the Tabashas, that sort of thing. So I thought, oh, shit, I'll do it the other way. I'll be a conscious channel this time. And the response was, it's going to be a slower journey because we have to teach you. Whereas if you're an unconscious channel, we could just download it through you.
Yes.
And that kind of put pay to all my ideas of being wealthy and world famous and all that sort of shit, because it's so much easier if you say, look, I'm channeling Archangel Michael, and I dress up in robes and I set up an ashram, and I kind of look like everyone expects you to look. It's really hard when you look like me, because I look like a truck driver. You know, I'm just a bloke. So, you know, Tony, a friend of mine, introduces me to the spiritual truck driver. You know, I'm just a bloke. And what I got shown as I started to develop and learn about this was, that's my appeal. You know, I'm right down practical. Anything I talk about, I can do.
Yes.
Now, I don't mean talk about it. I can do it. And I have done it. It's not an idea. I've done it. And this is kind of the difference of the heart as to working in the crown chakra and traveling through meditation. A lot of it is still up there.
Yes.
My journey has been here. Okay? So yes. I don't know where the question was. I've lost it now. But anyway, so that's the process. And the whole thing was, Keith, we will teach you through experience of your own heart, so you don't have to take on anyone else's truth. You take on your own.
How powerful was that?
And I went, but, and I said, no, because you're going to have to teach other people how to take on their truth. So you have to learn how to be solo. You have to learn how to stand a step outside the mass consciousness. You have to realize that you are a divine being, and a very small aspect of you operates the body.
So when you channel, Keith, you're not channeling Bob now, I would assume. I've witnessed your channeling for myself, and it feels to me that there is a group energy of yourself and others that are coming through from another perspective. Would I be right there?
Kind of. All right. This was a bigger question than I thought you were going to ask. I don't often open this part up because it's so often available to misconception.
Yes.
Misconception. It just creates more problem. But seeing it's on the table, let's open it up.
Yes.
Okay. Part of the way through after 3 years of listening to Bob, and then Heart of Love, and then a whole lot of other levels of consciousness, all with a different name, just to show me that they were different levels of consciousness, the bastards fucked off. Oh, sorry. My guides disappeared. Sorry, I've got to be more. Yeah, they went. You know, I was like, So my whole, and it was, they were gone for about 2 years, 18 months. And so I just had to fumble along by my own.
Mm.
And it was like, whoa, what's going on here? And one day I was busy talking to someone doing something, and suddenly they were back. And I said, oh my God, I've missed you. And they said, no, you haven't. I said, what do you mean? They said, well, you've done everything you would have done if we'd been with you.
Mm.
It's just we wanted to make sure that you realized that you could do it, that it wasn't us doing it.
Yes.
And I went, whoa. So you mean to say all of that's me? And they said, well, yes. And I said, but how does that fit to that? We're all one and we're all part. And, this whole thing that I'm channeling the great oneness of everybody and, blah, 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 blah. And basically it took another couple of years of experiences and things to become aware that each of those layers are me.
Yes, understand.
But the me is no longer as small as the me here. So the me up there goes up like a funnel.
Mm.
And so what you see is all these beings around me are me.
Would you call them aspects of the one soul?
Yeah, if you want to languagize it, yep.
Yeah.
Or you could just say they're all me.
Yeah.
All right? Depends on whether you want to own them.
Yes.
Now, if you really own them, they're not even aspects of me. They're not aspects of the one soul. They're me. That's the angry me. That's the happy me. That's the little me. That's the old queen me. That's the old king me. That's the planet destroyer me. That's the multidimensional me. That's the me that sits in your culture. That's the me. That's the me. That's the me. That's the me. Do you think Source goes, well, they're all aspects of me?
No, I understand. Yes.
Source goes, well, that's me. And that's just the part that I choose to be in any one moment. So for most people's reality, I talk about my teams.
You do.
I do. So when I talk about my teams, and they are my teams, but are they me? Are they my teams? Are they aspects? Well, it's very complicated. Because after a while, it all starts to merge at a level of consciousness. So when I invite a specific being in, I don't invite them in so much because they're specifically different. I invite that aspect in, if you want to use that word, because I want the energy they embody.
Got it.
All right. Now, I recognize what energy they have, not because of their name, not because of what everybody else has defined them to be over the years gone by and in all the books. It's because I feel into their consciousness and I recognize them. I feel them. I know them because I have been them, or they've been me, or we've joined together to co-host a body, or we've hung out together having coffee and donuts. I know them. And so many people go, well, how can you do that? And I go, well, if you meet Bob or Harriet, your friend, you actually just start a conversation, don't you? You don't go, oh, dear, Mr. Jones, blah, blah, blah. You just say, hey, Harry, can you go over there and catch the ball? And Harry goes, yeah, sure. Yeah, you want me to throw back? No, just hold it for a moment. Now, Joan, can you go over there? You orchestrate it because you're all mates.
Yes. Yes. You're a team.
You're a team.
Yes.
With a whole lot of aspect, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So I hope that helps a little bit. It's a little bit off topic because I wanted to talk all about the heart. But anyway, you'll get a feeling that when people start to talk about different frequencies and different layers of consciousness, it's been my experience, Janine, that some of it, not all of it, but some of it's still conceptualized.
Yes, yes. No, I for one, and I'm sure the viewers will be too, deeply grateful for this time that you've given to explain that, because you've done it very clearly. So it's very clear for me, and I'm sure it will be for them too. So thank you, Keith.
Hey, I'm good.
Yeah. So bringing us back
Go,
onto
Bob. Sorry.
yes, thank you, Bob.
Yeah. Right.
So you believe that our collective way forward is by becoming comfortable with the metaphysical and spiritual worlds of energy. And a lot of people are now aware of the law of attraction, as you spoke of before, you mentioned before, and thoughts creating their reality. But you're talking about far more than that, aren't you, Keith?
Look, I am. But like everything, it's layers of consciousness. Now, the concept that thoughts create realities, the law of attraction, there's some really beautiful beings who are propagating that belief structure. All right? And I kind of agree with it, but I kind of don't, because it's kind of a simplistic version. And it has to be kind of simplistic because it's been offered to the masses, it's been shown and talked about. And when people feed it back to you, they talk about like, well, my thoughts create reality. Well, your thoughts don't. Your thoughts shift your emotions, and your emotions put a message into the energetic grid of creation, and that creates a reality.
That's very interesting. Thank you.
But conceptually it does. But, and I'm not criticizing, I'm just saying here's the easy version. And if you go deeper into the law of attraction, they talk about alignment, they talk about authenticity, they talk about all of these other aspects, but they don't talk about it when they talk about the law. The law of attraction is your thoughts will, but it won't work if you've got a blockage in your field. But that blockage is not a thought, it's a feeling. That blockage is an energetic block. So is it energy that creates reality, or is it thoughts that create reality? And here's my simple, according to Bob, reality option. Okay, I'm going to be very, very slim tomorrow. Ring me up and take a photo. I won't be slim tomorrow.
Okay.
Will I? Unlikely.
Unlikely.
Now, some people are totally in line with this. They get this epiphany and they make this statement, oh my God. It's like this. It's kind of like, oh my God, I'm going to be thin tomorrow. And there's a wonderment and a surprise and an acceptance and a knowing, and they're skinny tomorrow.
Yes, I have heard of that. Yes.
Or they go, oh my God, I can cure my cancer. Now they don't go, I'm going to cure my cancer. They go, oh my God, I've been seeing that I can cure cancer. It's an inner knowing because everything's come in alignment. So tell me the difference of the thoughts, and thoughts. Because if thoughts create your reality, then we should all be skinny and wealthy and have wild sex all the time. But we don't. So it's not as simple as that, but it's a good place to start. But there's a part of me that has trouble accepting it as a statement of truth, because many people kind of use it as a concept.
Yes.
And so they keep thinking while their energy is saying something different.
Yes, absolutely.
And they wonder why they keep on getting the same shit. They're thinking different thoughts, but they're getting different shit. They're getting the same shit. Because I'm sorry, but God doesn't hear your thoughts. Nobody hears your thoughts. All right. Sorry about that.
Well, you know, it's interesting you say that, Keith, because I always believed that thoughts were things, and that, of course, they left us and went out into the ethers somewhere as a type of vibration. Is that not the case?
No, not really. Sorry,
Okay.
not in my world.
Yep.
But guess what? The emotion that you attach to that thought goes out.
Yes. Yes.
The impulse of energy movement that thought carries for you. Watch this. I'm angry. Well, the word angry doesn't go angry, 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 out like the ripples in the pond. But the goes out like ripples in the pond. The energy that's behind my thoughts go out.
Yes. Yes.
Got
yes.
it?
Makes perfect sense.
Resonance, the energetic behind the scenes resonance goes out. And the thought can stimulate that. The thought can try and cover that up. The thought can be in conflict. How many people stand up in front of you and say, I'm totally lovable, and you don't believe them?
Well, if they say it like that, no.
No. And I'm just going to say playfully, the universe doesn't believe them either.
No.
Because their energy behind it is totally different.
Yes.
But again, at a beginning stage of awareness, the law of attraction gives hope. It gives a mechanism. It gives a tool to show you that you're in the process of creating your reality by the energy that you take forward. And they talk about thoughts because the world thinks in thoughts.
Yes.
Got it? So it's reaching people where they are. And it's only when you go in deeper do people start to realize that they have to do some personal work. They have to get in alignment. They have to get all their chakras, all their energies in alignment. So when they say the statement, it resonates authentically through their entire being. And so the power that goes out into the ethos is kind of like a statement of intent.
Yes,
all right, and that really ripples out. And this is why group work is so powerful, because the collective group, I might have 8 people and they might all make the same statement, but you might only get the power of 5 because 3 of them are, twisted in amongst it. So out of 8, we might get equivalent to 5, but it sure is a hell of a lot more than 1.
Yes.
So everybody gets the impact or the growth. And this is how group work works. And so what we're talking about here really is consciousness. We're understanding consciousness and how it works. I have not I'm conscious, not I'm aware. You see, you can be aware of something and totally unconscious.
Yes.
I'm aware that I hate males. I have no conscious awareness. I have awareness that I don't like males, but I have no conscious awareness of why my energy shuts down every time I see a male. I don't understand it. I'm not conscious of it, but I have an awareness of what's happening. So awareness is a first stage. Yes. We become aware. Then we become, through trial and error and experience, we become conscious of it, consciously aware. I know I shut down males because I had some bad sexual experience. Okay? Or I know I shut down with males because I had a dominating father. So I don't shut down for young men, and I don't shut down for old men. I just shut down for men who's the age of my father. Now I'm consciously aware. And so many people who talk about being conscious or consciousness are talking about a state of knowledge, a state of awareness. That's not consciousness in my aware. Consciousness is the ability to be conscious and change it. It's the action, it's the mastery to say that I'm consciously aware and kind of I can do the business. consciousness. I could do the business.
Hmm.
So it's not a concept, and it's not an awareness. It's a beingness. Consciousness is like a beingness.
Yes. Yes.
And so that's why often when I meet people in the past, I've had a difficulty in connecting because I read their consciousness, not read their conscious.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Understand. So just moving on here, Keith, because I don't want us to run out of time, and I could talk with you for a couple of hours on here, but
I love it.
yeah, so do I. So do I. So many questions going through my mind here to ask, but I have to be aware of the time for you. So your workshops that you run are interactive, provocative, and sometimes challenging for the participants. These are your words. Could you give the viewers some examples of how this might look and what they could expect? What sort of topics do you cover? What themes for workshops? Just give them a flavour here of what's within a workshop.
Sure. Janine, this is one of my biggest challenges, is try to limit the options down to specific workshops, because I work with the heart. So I have run workshops with heart-based communication, relationships, healing the wounded heart, child trauma, past life regression, past life histories, anything that you have experienced in any one of your incarnations at any time, at any level of consciousness, is available through the heart.
Gosh.
All right. So often my workshops, which is why I don't put a lot of framework around them, they become an interactive experience with the participants who arrive.
Yes. Okay. So the group energy kind of governs how it will be.
To a degree, but occasionally someone's soul takes the opportunity to impress themselves upon me and ask me whether I will work with their soul in public.
Okay. Yes.
All right. For the learning of everybody else.
Yes.
Okay. But in general, what happens in my private sessions, in my workshops, and in daily life, three kind of things happen. First off is there's such a thing as osmosis. And so because my heart has had a lot of work, it just looks normal, my heart chakra, but it's had a lot of work and it sits open and multidimensional many levels simultaneously. When I come into someone's presence, I trigger them. So often I close my heart out of respect for them. But I still trigger them. Because when you start to know yourself deeply from the heart, you carry a confidence, you carry a bearing, you carry an energy that just says, I know who I am. And that alone triggers many people, because many people aren't sure who they are. Okay? So that's one of the first things that can be provocative without me doing anything. Just people doing an evaluation of themselves against me and make me the bad guy. Sometimes. Others go, oh my God, there's something to learn here.
Yes. The
other part, Janine, is I can open my heart to different levels. And it's kind of like a light. Everyone says shine your light. Well, my light is an interactive light. I can make it a narrow focus beam that cuts into someone specifically and clearly and helps release a block, or it can be a big, warm, fuzzy heart that allows everyone to bathe in its beauty. I can also put filters over that heart. I can go into my own wounding, my own powerlessness, my own anger, my own aggression, and I can radiate that out of my heart. So depending upon where the person is and what their response is and what we're talking and exploring about, I will open and close my heart and put different frequencies out so people have an experience. Because I don't want to teach people knowledge. I want to teach people experience.
Yes.
So the process starts an unconscious triggering through osmosis, a deliberate with a projection or push of a little bit of energy to bring up an experience, and I call that naming it. So I'll say, I see your pain, and as I see your pain, I match it. and people's pain comes washing up, because the minute I put my energy in to that heart space and call that pain, it comes forward.
Mm.
And so they suddenly have an experience of their pain. Now, I don't do this without permission, but that's one. The third thing in a workshop is, on a topic, I might just lift the frequency of the whole room and everyone in it up several notches around the topic. So they start popping off like little bubbles and start getting their own little experiences, which trigger the conversation and the process. Then finally, with permission, these are all with permission. I may do the hands-on. I very seldom do that these days. But I may actually, with someone's permission, I may focus down into their heart and basically blow it open. I can, with someone's permission, I can open their heart so much that their chest aches as their chakra spins so much faster, that the cells in their body have to vibrate so much faster. It feels like they've been ripped apart.
Wow.
Okay. Now, these are just, that's mastery, a state of consciousness. Understand how the heart works and how the chakra works and how to use that chakra as a tool.
Yes. Wow. Thank you.
My workshops kind of range off from that. And, sometimes it can be a big healing. Sometimes it can be a conversation. We try and put a little bit of guidance, a little bit of framework around it. But the heart is about experience. So if you want to know what you're going to get, I can't really tell you exactly.
No, but it certainly will be an experience.
It most definitely will be an experience, and life is an experience. So you're here to have experiences.
Yes, yes. And so you're about to go overseas, Keith, in the next few months, facilitating workshops and hosting events. Can you share more about this trip for those that would like to maybe be participants on it?
Sure. Basically, this trip is I will be living 3 months in Europe every year for the rest of my life. That is my intent. And so the process for me is basically putting myself out there and saying to different people around the world, hey, I think I've got some shit that I could share, teach, and experience with you. Do you want to have an experience? Make contact, and let's create a workshop that's frequency specific. I've always talked about frequency specific, consciousness specific, topic specific in the areas that you or your clients or your family might be interested in. Give me a call. We'll create a workshop. We'll come and play. I want to develop a network through the world now.
Fabulous. Just an ending, I must say that to the viewers that I've actually experienced one of Keith's workshops for myself. The breakthroughs that I saw in others and the experience that I had for myself were profound. And probably, and I've been to a lot of workshops, but probably the most profound that I've ever been on for the experience. So, and even since the workshop, those that attended and what's been happening. So, yes, I just wanted to put that on here for the viewers. So thank you. So, and Keith, all your website details, your contact details will be put underneath the interview here. Heather will put them all up for people to be able to contact you. And I'm so sorry we have run out of time because I have so many more questions to ask you.
I did notes this time. I've never done notes in my life. Look, I did notes and I haven't used any of them.
No.
I've got all big words and all this really lovely shit.
Yes. I know, yes, but anyway, hopefully there'll be another time. So,
hopefully there'll be another time. Yeah.
On behalf of Heather and myself, we'd like to thank you, Keith, so much.
Oh, hey, it's been a blast. Thank you. Sorry we didn't cover everything I planned to, but hey, to all the people who are listening, support these two beautiful ladies and what they do. They're really amazing. They're sharing some gifts, and for anyone who wants to get a deeper connection with your heart, your soul, your extended self, give me a call, host me, give me a couch, get a group together, let's go play. Yeah. Time to play.
Yes, there's definitely play where you're around, Keith.
So many people make this so serious, don't they?
Okay. Thank you. Listen.